First off, I did not expect our last video to do as well as it did. Renting versus buying stirred up a big conversation. Some said, Kelly, a paid off house is always gonna be better. Others said, I've owned a home and I'm completely over it. I enjoy renting. They were willing to give up all the things like maintenance, repairs. The list goes on and on and on. I had to write this down because I didn't want to miss a thing. I said, you know what? I got to make sure I have all my notes because I don't want the ladies to be like, Kelly, you better come correct with this one. But then you had others who made the conversation a little bit more deeper. If my mortgage is paid off and I still have property tax, insurance, utilities, and repairs, is my house really free? Nothing is free. We have to pay to have roof and shelter over our head. Now that that is clear, I'm not here to tell anyone to rent or buy, but I do think you should stop looking at a paid off house as a retirement plan, because you're on a fixed income. And yes, you may have this, yes, you may have that, this coming in, but we can't control taxes. We can't control insurance rates. We can't control any of that. We can base things upon what we have and say, oh, we good, this is how much this costs. Things go up. Things go up. And anything, renting as well. Everything goes up. So the real question is, will this house still make sense for my life, my budget, and your peace of mind at 75? We going deep, y'all. So let's get right into it. Will this house still fit my lifestyle at 75? For me, I have a 2-story home. I'm gonna tell you right now, no. For me, no. 75, no. I want to be in the best shape I can possibly be. I want to feel good, look good, all the things at 75. But I know my body's going to change. And I'm thinking about the steps. You know, we're going to be real here. I'm going to speak from my point of view. Then I want you to chime and speak from your point of view. You know, I think about people that I know, family, friends, and, you know, anything in between, who have homes, who are older and have steps they have to deal with. I remember my daughter grandparents, they had steps in their home. They had to get the thing that go up side of the house, up the steps, you know. But think about all these different things. I forgot what they called it. It was a commercial about that. I remember when I was living in New York, it was a commercial about you get the little chair that go up and down the steps. Another expense. Another expense. You got the stairs. You got the yard work. Yeah, you can call somebody to come and do this and do that, but sometimes things got to get cut in between. I know for me, the HOA, they be on me. I feel like we are not on the same schedule. I get my grass cut next week. They gonna come out this week and come look around and see who got little pricklies on their grass, who grass done grew up a little bit on the edge. We not on the same thing, and I'm not changing my grass, man, for you. So that's another thing. Having an HOA is something else. It's a gift and a curse. You know what I'm talking about. The never-ending repairs. And I mean, I don't mean like, you know, sometimes we may have those big repairs. You will have the water heater. You will have the HVAC or whatever. But sometimes it be like the little things. The damn cabinet door is coming off. The little the handle. The drawer with the junk drawer. Something going on with that drawer. It's not gliding right. It just be something versus you got to go fix that versus you calling the maintenance man to come do it. You know. And you know, sometimes when you live in a home, you're not pretty much in like the city limits and where things are. So I think about driving. I want to be able to be close to the proximity to healthcare. If you live out like me, right now I live out. So if I'm out and an emergency happens, I got to call, you know, the emergency 911. They got to come out with the EMS. They got to come out with whoever. And they got to drive me back in town so I can get some health care. So when you older, we not really putting those things into factor because we just like, you know, we could pay for this and we can live here. We like serene. But for me, I need to be a little bit more closer to the pharmacies. I don't know what kind of pills I'm going to be on. I might need to be close to the the emergency room, and I might need to be close to the grocery store. Yes, we live in a modern time now where things can get delivered to us and all the things. I do have a delivery service that brings me my things. Absolutely. But however, I think more of where we're going to be at 75. You know, I don't want to be a burden on anyone. So I want to know, how can I live a nice, fruitful life and still be out there getting it and going? You know what I mean? While I'm out here like this. So now you sit back and think, what does a house really cost you after the mortgage is gone? You know, you still gotta pay your, your property tax, your insurance and things like that and all the other stuff we just talked about. But what does it really cost you after the mortgage payment is gone? The house is paid off, they done gave you the deed, so now you just gotta worry about all the other little things, right? What does it really look like? As I just mentioned, we got the taxes, right? So now we gotta factor those in. Are we gonna be going up and down? The fluctuation, is your area still building? Is it kind of stable? You know, we figure that stuff out, right? Insurance, do you gonna stay with the same one? Are you gonna get a new one? Are you gonna shop around? You know, when you get to a certain age, it's like we don't want to be doing those type of things. We don't want to be really shopping around and doing. But we do what we have to do. Utilities, you know, we can't get around that. Water. I know for me, I'm thinking about my bills right now. Water, electricity, I know I have an alarm system. The list can go on, and whatever else you may have. Telephone, all utilities that you might need. You know, I still have a landline around here. I have a boomer in my house, so we have a landline. HOA fees, that ain't going nowhere, and those go up. Even if you live in an area where you feel like they ain't taking care of nothing, they ain't doing nothing, they gonna still find a way to raise them fees. They say, oh, we gotta fix the street lights, we gotta put speed bumps in the road. Won't you go mow the front of the subdivision and get that cleaned up? You know, it's always something. That was my previous I'm having a flashback. That was my previous subdivision. I digress. And then, as I mentioned before, the routine maintenance, things around the house that you got to do. Sometimes, you know, you might have to get your carpet changed. You might got to get a new roof. You might need to get a new HVAC system. I need to get a new water heater. Those things do come up. And sometimes if you, maybe a one-time shot that may happen, it may be a costly expense that you may not can pay for. How I say it, maybe out front. If you do pay for it, might put on a credit card, might pay it out front, but now you got to still pay that bill back. So that type of, you know, expense can definitely be a little heavy. And last but not least, the repair services. I definitely have a repair service. When little things kind of go out in my home that I know I can't do on my own, I will call them. It's like having a handyman on lock, if you, for lack of better words, because you know I don't have a maintenance, so I pay for this service. So even if I have to call you, even if not as simple as a light bulb, but if something goes out in my home, I can call them to fix the plumbing. You know, if the toilet's kind of jacked up and I done plunge, I call them to come fix the toilet. If I have an issue with my HVAC, electrical, they will come out and check my switches and do whatever they have to do. But I've paid the fee, so I am good to go. So it's like having, you know, for us who from up north, I call them the super. You know, it's like having a super or a maintenance man handy, because you have to have something. So that's like another additional cost that you'll have once the mortgage is gone. So now, you know, I got to play both sides of the fence. Now that we know all of this stuff, would renting create anxiety or freedom? Let's talk about it. I know for me, and I know other women, we love the flexibility and the freedom. Yes, it's nothing like knowing that you have your home, you have this, is there for the next 30, 20, 15 years, however long you have your mortgage for. But you know, knowing that, I'm not trying to convince anybody, I mentioned that earlier, but knowing that you have the freedom to pick up and go after this year or 15 months is over, and you can go and explore something else. Yes, you're gonna have expenses. Yes, you're gonna have the moving fee to this, that, and the other, whatever it might be. But I know for me, I know as long as I am vibrant like this, I'm going to want to see what some other place looks like, see what this feels like, go here, go there, do all the different things. That's just me. I like to move. And I understand people say, get you some roots somewhere. Da, 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 da. I hear it at the workplace. I hear it everywhere with get you some roots. But let me tell you something. A part of knowing life is just experiencing it. And that's how I feel with renting. It's like experiencing life, getting the flexibility. You live in this place. Yes, it might be high. You stay there for however long. You go over here, it might be hot, but you know you live once. It's flexibility. Oh my God, I cannot wait. But now, let me be honest with you. If it becomes a situation for me, speaking for me, where renting doesn't make sense because I may have more square footage, I may have more storage, I may have all this, and I don't need all this space. But if it just makes sense for me to say, okay, well, you have all of this and you're paying, say, 2,000, and you go over here and you gotta pay 23 just to live amongst a bunch of people, $300 is a lot of money when you could sit somewhere and, but you know what? Let me not say that, Kelly, because you have to factor in all the other expenses. Because me paying an extra $300 might be better than me paying an additional probably $6,000. You know, what something happened. I don't know. We have to figure that part out because I have to let you guys know we're gonna be talking about my plan coming up soon. So please make sure you are in the mix of things. If you are new here, go ahead and subscribe because my plan has changed, even from us having conversation from before about my retirement plan. So make sure you in tune because I'm gonna be sharing things that came about with me and about my plan and how things are a little changed up in my thought process. So you just sit back and think about. We'll talk about that later. Stay focused, Kelly. We will talk about that later, about the choke here. But like I mentioned, some of us, we like the flexibility and the freedom that we can have with renting. And others fear the rent may increase. And I get it. And having to move later. You know, you just have to sit back and think about all the pros and cons to everything. And we're definitely gonna talk about that more because your girl. Is there a middle of the road with all of this? And there is. We love middle of the road. A smaller home, downsized. Yes, I know you have to move and pick up and box up and do all these different things. That's why you do things when you're at good, young, kind of spunky, where it won't really hurt you too bad. Or better, you hire the people. The people these days, they will pack your stuff up down to your damn underwear. I'm not saying to do that, but they will do it. You know what I mean? They will do it. A condo. I was thinking along those lines because condos come in nice high-rise buildings. I want to live that life. I want a big column in my living room. I want to see the whole skyline of North Carolina, downtown Raleigh. I love North Carolina. So North Carolina is a good retirement state. So I don't foresee myself going anywhere, but I do see myself traveling and going to different places and enjoying what these good 50 states have to offer us here in the US. So yes, I do see myself going and living other places for a short period of time and having like North Carolina be home base. We'll get into that some more. I'm just giving y'all little teasers, A townhome. A townhome can definitely be less work because you have to worry about your maintenance in regards to the grounds because that's going to be taken care of through the actual area of the townhome. So you have to worry about that. But definitely on the inside, you still have to worry about that. But that cuts some cost, if you will. I feel like townhomes is still the responsibility of a house, but you don't have to worry about the outside. Some townhomes come with maintenance, so you can go ahead and call someone to help fix something if something needs to be fixed. So that is definitely an option. And that happens in condos as well. You definitely can have the maintenance package and they'll come fix things. So I'm definitely thinking about that road where you can still purchase something and you can pass down if, you know, I don't know, my daughters, they like, look, give me the money. In addition, a senior community, 55 and over, they have so many perks and benefits. They have different social clubs and different things like that. Now, I'm not saying, you know, you have to partake in that, but it might be nice to be amongst someone or some people that are amongst your age group and whatnot. And also, not just that, benefits the perks of your age. Yeah, you know, you may not want to sit and play games or whatever. I know I might want to play a game or two, but you can benefit from the perks that they offer. Fixed, probably, I'm assuming here, fixed rent. You worry about all of that. They probably work with you with your income. They pay what you can. I don't know. I don't live there, but I can safely assume that there might be some really, really good perks with living in a senior community. So if you live in a senior community or you know someone that does, drop that down below so we can talk about that because that's us spreading more information to all of us because this is new to me as well. I'm trying to figure it out. Just like I'm sharing, we are doing this together. or just an overall downsize, whatever that might look for you. Like I mentioned before, maybe getting a smaller home, a condo where you're still buying something, but it's something smaller. Some of us, we like to have a big house and have different rooms to, sashay into. Me, I like it sometimes, but me, I grew up in New York, all our, apartments and things like that. I don't mind somebody below, to the left, to the up. I don't mind that. It doesn't bother me. Do I see the comfortability living in a home for the last probably 18 years? Yes, there is a big difference with not having someone to the left, to the right, to the up, to the down. There is a big difference. I don't mind both. I see the benefit in both. So, but just a downsize. It all just depends on what's best for you. Again, this is our journey and we're doing what is best for us. So the main choice here is what allows you to sleep good at night. Baby, it is your decision. I was reading the comments. I said, the beauty of this, us black women over 40, trying to figure out our single life. And those who may not be single, but you're trying to figure out things just with you and your spouse and your significant other or your partner, however that might look. The fact that we have our own opinions and we think different, that's what makes us so unique. That we can sit here and some of us are like one way, some of us are like the other way, and we're not convincing. And that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm not convincing you to do one thing or the other, because I've done both already, and I'm not even in retirement. But I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about what would be the smartest move. Because I might sit here and say, you know what? I want to go rent. Then I get out there and I be like, you know what? I want a house again. I want to go buy something. Or I get out there and buy something again. But you know what? I want to go back and rent. That's the luxury that we can do what we want to do when we want to do. And it's all about what's best for your pockets. It's all about what's best for your soul and anything like that. So I want to say I applaud each and every one of you for having your own opinion on what is best for you. That's it. I think it's beautiful because your girl over here, I be bouncing off the wall trying to figure out what I'm going to do every day. And saying all of that to kind of just, regurgitate everything I've been saying. The best decision is the one for you. Because no one's paying your bills. No one's doing anything for you. You're doing it for yourself. So it's always the best decision for you. And, we all can sit here and be like, what doesn't make any sense? It doesn't make any sense for you. So whatever your decision is good for you. And what's a good decision for me is good for me. And that's what I want us all to do. But I want us all to help each other, inspire each other to sit back and commend each other for what we choose and how we choose to live our retirement as single black women. And it's okay, And who knows? Who knows what the future may hold, right? We don't know. So, in saying all of that, I want to thank each and every one of you for being here. I truly, truly appreciate each and every one of you. I just want to say thank you. I love when we had this kind of conversation. I had no idea this conversation was going to do what it did. I love the fact that there's new ladies here to be in our community. And this is what I wanted. I wanted us to share the video, talk to each other and say, you know what, come on in, be in our space so we can have these conversations and we can help each other. Because again, there's no right way to this. It's the only right way is the right way that's best for us. But in saying all of that, ladies, thank you. I truly appreciate you. If you know another black woman over 40 who would enjoy conversations like this, go ahead and share it with her and like, comment, subscribe, hype it up, do all things that we like to do to get the video where it needs to be so we can attract more like-minded women just like us, black women over 40 who are seeking to retire single, or even if not, if you have a spouse, I'm never against that, because at the end of the day, whatever is good for you is good for you, right? That's how we do over here. We support. So I will catch you in the next one. We're going to talk more about this because I definitely have to share my plan and what's going on with me and how things have changed. So yeah, stay tuned for that.